My name is Anya. I am 28 years old. I have a good job in the city. I live in a small apartment. I have many friends. My life looks happy. But I have a secret. A big secret. I am very lonely. My friends are nice people. They are fun and kind. They invite me to parties and dinners. I go with them, and I feign a smile. Every weekend we go to a cafe. We drink coffee and talk about our lives. They laugh and tell stories. I laugh with them. But my laugh is not real. My heart is not happy. They send me messages on my phone. They share funny photos and videos. I look at them every day. Every day I feel more alone. I am not an unfriendly person, but I feel empty. My whole life feels empty. These friendships are not enough for me. 3 years ago, my life was very different. I lived with my grandmother in a small town. I helped her in her garden. We cooked food together. She was my best friend. I told her all my secrets. She gave me good advice. I felt safe and loved. I thought that life would never change. Then my grandmother became sick. She was very old. I took care of her for many months. But one day, she closed her eyes and did not wake up. I felt a part of me disappear. The house was quiet and empty. I had no one to talk to. I felt a deep, grieving sadness. I thought I would never be happy again. Then I moved to the city. I found a new job. I met new people. They became my friends. They helped me forget my masking sadness. I thought this feeling was happiness. I made a mistake. One evening, we were all watching a movie together. Everyone was beaming, smiling. I looked at them and thought, these are my friends. I should be happy. But I felt nothing. I just felt tired. Now I have a busy life. I have a good salary. I have a social life. But I am not happy. I feel lost. Their friendship is warm, but I feel like I am acting in a play. Every conversation feels like reading from a script. My heart wants a real connection. Sometimes I sit in my apartment and think, why can't I be happy with these good people? I feel confused. I feel sad. I know they think we are close friends. They do not know the truth in my heart. Last week, it was a holiday. My friends planned a big trip to the beach. They were all very excited. They surprised me with a new swimsuit. They said, "This is for you, Anya. We will have so much fun." I smiled and said thank you, but inside I felt heavy. A few days ago, I felt very tired. I did not want to go to work or see anyone. My friends called me many times. They were the perfect friends. They brought me food and flowers. I felt even more confused. Why can't I love these good people? What is wrong with me? Yesterday we had dinner together. They cooked my favorite pizza. They played my favorite music. They gave me a hug. They looked at me and said, "Anya, we are your family now. You will never be alone. We love you so much." Their words scared me. Family. Love. I could not speak. They looked so sincere, full of love, but I could not feel what they felt. It was not fair to them. It was not fair to me. They deserve a friend who can truly love them back. I sat quietly, my heart beating fast. I knew what I had to do. I had to be honest with myself. It would be difficult. It would change everything. But a lie would hurt everyone more. I looked at their happy faces. My voice was shaking. I took a deep breath and said, "Everyone, I need to say something. I feel very lonely. I need to find my own way. I am so sorry." Their smiles faded. Their faces became serious. They were quiet for a moment. Then my friend Lisa said softly, "We understand, Anya. We are sad, but we thank you for your honesty." I felt tears on my face. It was painful, but I also felt a small hope. The acting was over. The truth was hard, but it was better than living a performance. I knew my life would be different. I might be alone for some time, but at least I could start my real journey. Honestly. The room was still, heavy with unspoken sadness. My friends, Lisa and Mark, kept their somber gaze on me. It was hard to breathe. I waited for anger, for accusations, but they only offered gentle understanding. Lisa reached across the table and tenderly squeezed my hand. "It takes incredible courage to say that, Anya," she said, her voice thick. Mark just nodded, his eyes showing a hurt that made my stomach clench. It was a clean break, but it was still a wound. We sat for another hour, not talking about the beach trip or funny stories, but just existing in the new, vulnerable silence. When I finally stood to leave, they hugged me. A real, honest hug this time. I felt their true love. And for the first time, I felt the truth in my own heart. I loved them too, just not in the way they needed right now. The next day, my apartment was truly quiet. No texts pinged, no invitations arrived. The silence was absolute, but it wasn't the empty silence of before. It was a space I had chosen. I spent the first few weeks simply processing. I went to work, came home, and started doing things just for me. I stopped scrolling through my phone. Instead, I started reading books again, old favorites lost in the busy years. I realized I didn't even know what my own favorite music was anymore, so I started exploring new bands, finding quiet joy in the unfamiliar melodies. I decided to start my own small journey of meaning-making. I signed up to volunteer at a local community garden in the city. I didn't do it to meet people, but to work with the earth, to connect to something tangible and real. The first day was hard work, digging and planting. I was sweating and my muscles ached. But as I looked at the dark soil, I felt a connection deeper than any cocktail party conversation. Another volunteer, an older woman named Elena, paused and smiled at me. "You have a good strong arm," she said approvingly. "A good start." I returned the smile, and this time it was entirely real. It was small, it was quiet, but it was mine. My journey back to true connection had begun.